Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic processional. Faculty Marshal. Faculty Marshal. Faculty Marshal. And please remain standing. With the Marshal's placing of the University Mace, we open the 2019 Winter Commencement exercises at the University of Nebraska, Kearney. On behalf of our graduates and students, the University of Nebraska Board of Regents, and our faculty, administration, and staff, I am pleased to welcome you. To begin our ceremonies, Dr. John Petzett of the UNK faculty will perform the national anthem. Dr. Petzett is Assistant Professor of Music and Director of Choral Activities. He conducts the choraleers, vocal collegium, men's and women's choruses, and teaches secondary choral methods and advanced choral conducting. He was accompanied on piano by Thomas Prentice of Grand Island, Nebraska. Thomas is the son of Leroy and Gina Prentice, and he will graduate this morning from UNK's College of Arts and Sciences with a Bachelor of Music, Music Performance Comprehensive. Dr. Petzett and Thomas Prentice.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Dr. Petzett, Thomas, thank you. And Thomas, congratulations on your graduation and for all of your achievements along the way. At this time, I am honored to introduce Douglas Christensen, 9th Chancellor of the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Chancellor Christensen.
Good morning. Just take a look around. Look at all the smiling faces, the faces of pride and of joy, of accomplishment. And we've all come here today for one purpose, and that is for our 2019 Winter Commencement exercises. We're thrilled to have you here. Thomas, what an honor to have you as one of our students and now as one of our graduates. Dr. Petzett, thank you for everything you do for all of our students and for the university. We appreciate you sharing your talents as well as your time with us this morning. This is the greatest day in the life of a university, commencement. It's a time to reflect on what we've accomplished in the past as faculty and students. It's a time to look to the future. Commencement is really the word for fresh start. It's the beginning, not the end. And so members of the 2019 graduating class, you're not concluding your education. Instead, you're just beginning to place it into use. And this is a great opportunity for you, and this is a wonderful time to celebrate. You have every right to feel proud of yourselves because we feel proud of you. Your accomplishments are the university's accomplishments, and you've worked extremely hard to achieve those. You've made great strides in the classroom as well as personal development. And you've learned, most importantly, how to learn. That is perhaps the greatest gift that's been given to you. You've not been trained, you've been educated. There's a huge difference in that. And so going forward, you are a very valuable asset to all of us. You care. You have an education, and you've learned how to understand and how to think. So as we continue on, I hope UNK is not just one of your experiences of life. I hope UNK, you will reflect back as where you gained your beginning, not only for your careers or your professions, but for you personally. On behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the administration, thank you for choosing UNK. We're so glad you came. I'm confident that your experience here will pay off in tremendous dividends for the rest of your life. And may the success that you enjoy today follow you every day forward. Welcome to the commencement exercises of 2019.
Thank you, Chancellor. Now please welcome University of Nebraska Regent Paul Kearney of Amherst. Regent Kearney.
Good morning. My name is Paul Kearney. I'm the Regent for the central part of the state of Nebraska. I'd like to welcome you to the campus for the December commencement for the University of Nebraska at Kearney. It is my pleasure to welcome you, your family, and friends to this exciting day. As Chancellor said, we are very, very proud of what you have accomplished. I want to thank you for all that you've done to bring these graduates to the seats in front of us. We would not be an institution without you. Both of you did what was needed to be here and receive your diplomas. But what a year we did have. We had to say goodbye to our former president, Bounds, who was a great friend, ally, and leader for this campus. We began the process of hiring a new president, and we introduced him to the campus a couple months back. His name is Ted Carter. The president comes from us from Annapolis. He was the leader of the U.S. Navy Academy. He held that role for 5 years. We welcome President Carter to the state of Nebraska, to the university, and to Kearney. But floods and terrible weather brought this campus to the forefront. Everyone that helped take care of the stranded travelers and people that came to Kearney, we're so proud of what you did accomplish. On a better note, though, the only University of Nebraska football team to go to a bowl was in Kearney. And I might add, how about the highest rated volleyball team in this state? Go Lopers. I want you to enjoy this day. We're blessed with great weather. I want you to enjoy every aspect of this day. Thank you.
Regent Kearney, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us this morning. I would like to acknowledge other special guests and members of our platform party who will not be introduced later in the ceremony. I ask that they stand as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. To my right and in the audience, former State Senator and former UNK Vice Chancellor Galen Hadley, and former UNK Dean Marilyn Hadley. Marilyn is currently serving as Interim Director of the Museum of Nebraska Art. Former State Senator Joel Johnson, former State Senator Jim Cuddeback, former Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance Earl Rademacher and Joanne Rademacher, and Mayor of the City of Kearney Stan Klaus. And on the stage, Vice Chairman of the University Board of Regents, Jim Pillen of Columbus, Nebraska. Student Body President and Student Regent, Nicole Kent of Benkelman. Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, John Watts. Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management and Marketing, Kelly Bartling. Director of Athletics, Mark Bauer. Dean for the Division of Student Affairs, Gilbert Hinga, and Dean of the Library, Janet Wilkie. Student Gonfaloniers are selected by deans and the chancellor on the basis of noteworthy achievement, activity, and scholarship to carry the banners for their individual colleges. I ask that they stand and be recognized as I call their names. Again, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Mackenzie Puckett of Grand Island, Honors Convocation Student Speaker. Wesley Morris, Taft, California, Graduate College. Andriana Langlis, Denton, Texas, College of Arts and Sciences. Michael Lord, Indianola, Nebraska, College of Business, and Odwar Quinones Rodriguez, College of Education. Congratulations to our Gonfaloniers. Each commencement, the university's faculty and administration are invited to nominate students from among the graduates to deliver a brief address. Today's speaker is Ryan Clark of Kearney. The son of Don and Wendy Clark, he will graduate summa cum laude this morning from the College of Business and Technology. He has earned a Bachelor of Science with a double major, Business Administration Comprehensive, Finance, and Mathematics. Ryan has distinguished himself as a leader both in terms of academic achievement and as an active member of the campus community. His academic recognitions include UNK Honors Program, Mortarboard, the William and Mary Jane Nestor Leadership Award, Order of Omega and Kappa Mu Epsilon Honors Societies, and Beta Gamma Sigma and Phi Eta Sigma National Honors Societies. Beyond the classroom, Ryan has been an active member of the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, serving twice as president and a term as treasurer. He was fundraising chairman for Enactus and also a presenter at the organization's national competitions. A varsity member of UNK's men's golf team, and he served on UNK's Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And he studied a lot. He holds a 3.99 grade point average. Ryan, we welcome you to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2019.
Good morning, everybody. and good morning, my fellow graduates. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment to thank the Board of Regents, Chancellor Christensen, all the UNK faculty and staff, and all the family and friends who have supported us and gotten us to this point in our lives. I would also like to thank everyone who offered me money to sneak different words into this speech. So please listen closely. Moist, porcupine, ceiling fan, and water chestnut. You laugh, but I just made $200 and will be able to collect in the field house at completion of this ceremony in either cash or check or Venmo to at our Clarkie 10. When I first received the phone call asking that I do this, I felt some combination of honored and nervous. Luckily, the nervousness quickly subsided when I realized that the social standards require that all of you tell me I did a good job, regardless if this speech is any good. In all seriousness, though, I felt confused. It had always been my understanding that people asked to give addresses such as these had incredible stories to tell. These are supposed to be stories of perseverance and inspiration. And when I looked at my story, I just didn't see that. I've been blessed with parents, family, and friends who have supported me my entire life. When I came to UNK, I would argue that I didn't possess any remarkable qualities that would get me to the point that I am now. In fact, I would often find myself making the entire 3-minute drive home to have long conversations with my parents about how I didn't think that I could find success in college. They sat down with me and told me that better times were ahead and that I just needed to stick it out. And boy, am I glad they convinced me of that. UNK is a place that fosters growth in its students and does not demand that someone possess rare or remarkable qualities to find success. It did not take anything special for me to meet my best friend, Adam Starr, our freshman year, someone who has constantly challenged me to excel both in the classroom and in life. I was welcomed with open arms into the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, even after taking over a year and a half to decide I even wanted to join a fraternity. These men are responsible for some of my best memories at UNK, most notably the opportunity to lead the group as a chapter president. My professors never demanded anything more than a desire to learn to warrant their efforts. I don't recall a professor whose primary focus was not the long-term success of their students. Every one of you here today can think of plenty of professors that fit this model. In my case in particular, most notably was Dr. Keim in the math department, as well as Dr. Hayes and Dr. Borden in the finance department, who offered to write me multiple letters of recommendation to graduate school without hesitation. Coach Burnt of the UNK golf team simply expected a good work ethic and a desire to improve. He allowed a kid from Kearney, Nebraska, who frankly was not that good, work his way onto the team. His acceptance of me gave me some of the best memories of my life. It showed me the value of hard work, as our team was able to work its way into the top 25 of Division II my sophomore year, as well as simply giving me an outlet from the stress of school by being able to build camaraderie with my teammates. UNK's purpose has not been to turn me, nor anyone else, into a truly remarkable person. Instead, this institution has prepared us with the skills and experiences necessary to make a tremendous impact on people's lives. So I ask that each of you consider this as we leave here today. Do not go out into the world with the expectation that you must be a remarkable person. I've seen firsthand what a significant impact that us unremarkable people can make. Never feel as though you're unqualified for success simply because of some predisposed notion of what a successful person must look or act like. As I look out at you fellow graduates today, all I can think of is the many different opportunities that you will have to make a positive difference in the world, and I can't wait to see you go do it. Thank you.
Ryan, thank you. On behalf of the university's faculty and staff, congratulations on your highly successful undergraduate career and on your summa cum laude graduation. Chancellor Christensen.
Ryan, you've been a tremendous difference maker. Thank you. Well done. And boy, am I glad that Don and Wendy Clark had that conversation with you. In fact, they're over here somewhere. Don and Wendy, why don't you stand up and wave? This is Ryan's parents. Thank you. Nicole, we appreciate everything you do as our student body president and student regions Kearney and Pillen. You're here so many times with us. We really appreciate the effort that you put forth to participate and enjoy this environment. Thank you so much for being here today. It's now my pleasure to introduce this morning's keynote speaker, Dr. Barbara Hancock Snyder. Most of you remember her as simply Barbara. She served as Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs here at UNK from 1988 until 1999. Since then, she's been the Vice President for Student Affairs and Associate Professor of Educational Leadership and Policy at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. There as here, she served graciously, effectively, and with success. All the time, being mindful of the well-being of students was always in her forefront. She has been a national leader as well. Highlights of her tenure at the University of Utah include initiatives that created individualized attention and intervention for students and the use of technology to enhance their student experience. She created support systems in the areas of enrollment management, career and disability services, leadership involvement, inclusiveness, and personal money management, to just name a few. The university became more of a residential campus under her leadership. There was a greater emphasis placed on recreation and green space, and the Student Life Center was completed, a lasting legacy. She contributed significantly to her profession through active service in the organizations such as the National Association of Student Personnel Administration and the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities. In return, she received the notable awards as leading student affairs officer in the country who demonstrated sustained professional service in student affairs. Barbara, beyond all of your accolades and your honors, we are so glad to have you come back to our campus. It is your campus. This has always been a family, and Barbara, you've always been part of that family. Welcome home, Barbara Snyder.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Chancellor Christensen, Regent Pillen, Regent Kearney, and Student Regent Kent. It is truly an honor for me to be with you this morning to address the graduates, their families, friends, and the UNK community. As someone who worked in higher education for over 4 decades and has attended well over 50 commencement ceremonies, I can promise you that the days that students graduate are my favorite days of the year. So it might surprise you a bit to know that I'm a little intimidated to be here and to try and condense my thoughts into something that you will remember past tomorrow or even past lunchtime today. But I'm excited to try. And besides, who could pass up a trip to central Nebraska in the middle of December? It's so good to be home. I'm also painfully aware that I am the only thing standing between you and receiving your diploma, graduates, so my remarks will be very concise. While today is truly a celebration of our graduates, it's also an opportunity to recognize and thank those who helped you make it to this finish line. All of those who are your personal support system, as well as the faculty, staff, fellow students, and scholarship donors who came with you on this journey. The culmination of receiving your degree already tells us a lot about you. There is no single other better determinant of your future success than the degrees that you will receive today. And we're not only talking about financial success, although a bachelor's degree, as noted on UNK's website, can make a difference of $1 million in earnings over the course of your lifetime. But college graduates are also better parents, volunteers, take better care of their own and their family's health, and contribute to the quality of life in their communities at a higher rate than non-college graduates. It also turns out that which degree you earn is not so important as the fact that you earn one, especially from a wonderful institution like the University of Nebraska at Kearney. I can assure you that I have never really utilized my undergraduate degree in textiles and clothing from Ohio State, and I couldn't have imagined that it would lead me to an amazing career in higher education administration. The world lies ahead of you, and it's up to you to decide what direction you will go. Those choices will continue to unfold over the course of your life, and I hope that you will follow your dreams with passion. I want to begin my remarks today by introducing you to a friend and colleague who was instrumental in the historical development of UNK. Dr. William Nestor served as the president of Kearney State College from 1983 to 1991, and he was the driving architect of the initiative to become the University of Nebraska at Kearney. He was also its first chancellor and was an incredible mentor to Chancellor Christensen and to me. And yes, Nestor Hall is named in his honor. Bill was not physically imposing, but he had a great mind and a smart wit, and his leadership style was collaborative and supportive. He was quick to praise, but he could blow you away with a glance when you said something frivolous or inappropriate. When I think of Dr. Nestor's most enduring personal quality, it was his incredible kindness to others. And that is the advice I want to stress to you today, graduates, the importance of being kind. It feels as though the world has never been more uncivil than it is today, here in our own country, crossing international borders, and sadly, sometimes even in our own families. I can't sufficiently emphasize the importance of developing a worldview, whether you stay here in Nebraska or venture to places across the globe. We all know the world is getting smaller, and we are interdependent in ways we could never have imagined a decade, much less a generation ago. What happens in agriculture here impacts the rest of the world, and what happens with climate in the African desert ultimately impacts all of us. We have truly never been more of our brother's keeper than we are today. Last week, I read a quick question. If someone who speaks 2 languages is bilingual, and someone who speaks 3 languages is trilingual, what do you call someone who speaks no foreign language at all? The answer, sadly, most Americans. We have the opportunity to change that through our intentional willingness to push our self-imposed limits and learn more about others. And that's why I've personally committed to retooling and regaining my foreign language proficiency from high school and college, even as I enter retirement. It's also clear that the relationships that we build personally and professionally will either contribute to building a better world or serving as a deterrent. Although he describes it in the context of working in higher education, my colleague Larry Roper describes a relationship as a series of conversations which develop into a meaningful and sustaining interaction. So how would you answer this question? What is the conversation that you have been avoiding that you would have today with a family member, a colleague, a partner, or a friend if you knew you could achieve a positive outcome? And what are you willing to give to construct that conversation so that both sides win? I would also ask you to consider this. If you are surrounded only by people who are just like you, who think exactly as you do, and see the world from your same perspective, I hope you will ask yourself why. While we may be more divided than ever, the exciting news is that people in our country and in the world really do want to change that. with most of us believing there's more common ground between us than we might imagine. How can you move forward with kindness to create the world you want to see? You know, there are countless examples of individuals whose kindness has helped change the country and our planet for the better. Mr. Rogers created change simply by looking into the hearts and souls of children and showing unconditional kindness and acceptance. He was also responsible for saving public television with his plea to the United States Senate for the critical need to support child development. And if you've not seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, I highly recommend it. Roger's ability to patiently listen is a hallmark to which we should all aspire. And Tom Hanks says playing that role has helped him say, "Wait," more often, which stands for, "Why am I talking?" Can't we all agree that more thoughtful listening can only improve our lives? Several months ago, Ellen DeGeneres was invited to sit with President George W. Bush at a Dallas Cowboys Green Bay Packers football game. At first, I was horrified that she might actually be a Cowboys fan, but it turns out she took her cheesehead to the game, thank heavens. Anyway, Ellen was severely criticized for smiling and laughing with President Bush, and she forcefully pushed back when she said the following on her show: "When I say be kind to one another, I don't just mean be kind to the people who look like you or are just like you or think exactly as you do. I mean be kind to everyone for who they are." George Bush and Ellen DeGeneres being friends gives us hope for the future. So here comes the obligatory part of any true commencement speak, the advice that I share with the graduates. Number one, head down, work hard. This should go without saying, but the one thing I consistently hear about young professionals is the challenge they present in the workforce regarding their work ethic. Woody Allen may believe that 80% of life is just showing up and that luck will take care of the rest. But the reality is that you will be more satisfied and more successful if you work hard, and not just at your job. When your boss asks you have any questions, they should not be, "When will I get a raise?" or "When will I be promoted?" Work hard at being a good friend, or a parent, or a boss, or an exercise partner, and luck may indeed help you get over the finish line. Number two, please, please put down your cell phone. And I don't mean put right where you see it at night and check it night and day. I mean put it down. I know this is difficult for all of us. Some of you are probably checking your phones right now. But most of what comes to you on your phone is something that can easily be delayed until you take a break. There is nothing more inconsiderate than taking a call or responding to a text when you are interacting with someone else, because it signals they are less important, and that is very seldom true. Now let me tell you how not to put down your cell phone from personal experience. I took up playing golf around 15 years ago, and I absolutely love it. Several years ago, I was invited to take one of my life's bucket list experiences, to attend the Masters Golf Tournament. I was beyond excited. I knew that Augusta National had a strict policy prohibiting cell phones on the course, but it just didn't enter my mind when we left our car that morning. We walked about a mile in the dark to get in line at the gate so we could be the first ones in to set up our chairs to see the best shots of the day. Just before the gates were about to open, I had this sinking pit in my stomach. My cell phone was still in my bag. So I considered my options, and here's the one I decided on. I walked over behind a big pine tree, made sure my phone was turned off and locked, and I buried it in pine needles. Seriously, true. And when I came out after a glorious day of watching golf, my phone was right where I left it. And I was fine. And my phone was fine as well. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but you get the idea. And three, for years I've told freshman students not to choose a major because someone else thinks they should. And I say the same thing to graduates today about taking your first job or your second job or changing careers, which all of you will do at least once in your lifetime, probably more often. Make choices because they matter to you and correct course along the way. And don't let a good job pass you by while you're looking for a great one. A former teacher and mentor told me long ago to be the name that was at the top of mind when someone was asked, "Who do you know that would be good for this?" If you try to be the person whose name consistently rises to the top, great opportunities will follow. Your life is about to unfold in wondrous and magical ways. Perhaps you will continue on a path that has already been made clear to you, or maybe you will forge a new direction that you had never imagined. One thing you can be sure of is that your time at the University of Nebraska at Kearney has prepared you well for whatever comes your way. All of you have faced individual challenges in making it to graduation today, and all of you have the capacity to help others as they have helped you. I hope that you will find ways to pay it forward in supporting your alma mater as it continues to provide incredible educational opportunities to future generations from Nebraska and around the world. Now let me close with a final note about kindness. I have to admit I'm not a super fan of country music, but many in my family are. And I love some of the song titles and lyrics that tell stories of relationships, struggles, and triumphs. Songs like Brad Paisley's "I'm Gonna Miss Her," about his wife wishing he would stop going fishing, or Jimmy Buffett's "If the Phone Don't Ring, It's Me," or the classic Loretta Lynn and Conway Twitty hit, "You're the reason our kids are ugly, but I love you anyway." But my favorite recent song, and no, I'm not going to sing like your previous commencement speaker, which illustrates what I hope you will achieve, is reflected in Tim McGraw's lyrics. I know you've got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. Congratulations, 2019 graduates, and much success.
Thank you, Dr. Snyder, for being with us on this special day. On behalf of all of us at UNK, congratulations on your impressive accomplishments, both here and at the University of Utah. The Leland Holt Security Mutual Life Distinguished Faculty Award is presented each year at Winter Commencement. The award honors Mr. Leland Holt, an alumnus of our institution, and it commemorates his many years of leadership at Security Mutual Life. The award fund was created by Mr. Holt and Security Mutual Life and provides a stipend of $5,000 to a UNK faculty member who has demonstrated excellence in teaching, research, and service. Presenting the 2019 Leland Holt Award will be Chancellor Christensen.
Before I present the award, Barbara, thank you very much. And what brings this to mind to me is that Bill Nestor's looking down this morning. You put a huge smile on his face. He would be so proud. Thank you. Every year I review the portfolio for our Holt Award recipient. I find it terribly difficult, impossible really, to condense the achievements and qualifications into a few brief paragraphs. This year is no exception, and I believe this is a testament to the outstanding caliber of our faculty, those who serve the University of Nebraska at Kearney, and all of our students. And for everyone who was considered, congratulations. They were outstanding. This year's award recipient. Since her arrival at UNK in 2002, she has consistently proven herself to be an outstanding scholar, inspiring teacher, mentor, and a supportive colleague. She's published extraordinarily 4 books and is currently working on her 5th. And 15 of her articles or book chapters have been featured in the most prominent journals in her field. Her work has won her numerous accolades and references at international and national conferences, and her research has earned her notable awards, most recently being a grant for the collaborative research at the University of Verona, where she'll be in residence this coming fall. A respected and popular classroom teacher, this recipient consistently receives superior evaluations from her students. As a mentor, she is praised by students and colleagues alike. They say her work serves as an inspiration, and her mentorship and guidance help all of us to propel ourselves forward. She is the past recipient of the Pratt Hines Award for Teaching, Mortarboard's Outstanding Faculty Award for Teaching twice, and the College of Fine Arts and Humanities Faculty Mentor Award. Today's recipient is also generous in terms of sharing her time, expertise, and enthusiasm for the service of students, her department, and her profession. This past year, she served as an associate dean for the newly merged College of Arts and Sciences, and throughout her UNK tenure, she's been an active contributing member of a long and impressive list of professional organizations, committees, and councils. I think it's also really important to note that her service in terms of mentorship cannot be overstated. That is so important. I wish I had more time because there's a lot more to say. But Professor of English, Susan Honeyman, it gives me great pleasure to announce that you are the 2019 recipient of the Leland Holt Security Mutual Life Distinguished Faculty Award. Please come to the podium. Susan, congratulations. Thank you for doing so much for so many.
And Susan, on behalf of your colleagues, please accept my congratulations as well. And now we have arrived at that special moment, the conferring of degrees. We will begin with the awarding of the graduate degrees. Candidates will be presented by Dr. Mark Ellis, Dean of Graduate Studies.
Will the candidates for the graduate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, these applicants have completed all the requirements established by the Board of Regents for their respective graduate degrees. Therefore, the graduate faculty recommends that these candidates be granted the graduate degree, along with the privileges and responsibilities that accompany the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and upon the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Nebraska at Kearney, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate graduate degree and admit you to all the rights, privileges, honors, and obligations. Congratulations.
Candidates, you may be seated. Dr. Matthew Bice, Associate Dean of Graduate Studies and Associate Professor of Kinesiology, will read the names. Hooding the candidates for graduate degrees are Assistant Professor of Biology, Austin Nuxel. Associate Professor of Political Science, Chuck Rowling. Associate Professor of Accounting, Finance, and Economics, Brenda Eschenbrenner. And Associate Professor of Teacher Education, Natalie Danner.
The Office of Graduate Studies is pleased to recognize the following students. Wesley J. Morris. Monica Mueller. Yentel Ivan Diaz. Hannah Elizabeth Freeman. Caleb Samuel Kasimba. Chase Webster. Dana Jamie Anderson Cardwell. Haley Ryan Berry. Kaylee Marie Bartels. Josie H. Blesson. Claudia P. Kabakis. Bailey Elizabeth Dahlgren. Jessica Lynn Dunning. Abigail Joy Fong. Lucas James Grossniklas. Shasta Hilker. Cassie Lee Hauser. Sarah Marie Korochuk. Julie Ann Lazarchik. Jamie Samantha Lewis. Jeanette K. Marcy. Gracie McDowell. Johanna M. Osborne. Andrew Scott Peterson. Taylor Lynn Showman. Danielle Sokol. Elise Weaver. Sarah Marie Wolf. Susan Tara Bain. Catherine Laren. Bernadette Heather Smith. Angela Lynn Malice. Amy Offenkamp. Erica Ray Chancellor. Nicole Ann Darnell. Whitney Lee Ehrman. Ashley Marie Hammernick. Regina Harpham. Diona M. Hartwig. Alexander W. D. Hull. Brett Cleaver. Sarah Cleaver. Jason Andrew Levine. Ashley Christine McCarter. Kelsey K. Neal. Taylor Ray Nichols. Pamela K. Riffle. Tara Nicole Schroeder. Allison N. Wolf. Arian J. Arnsdorf. Cam Quao. Jennifer L. Hansen. Jason Quist. Baba M. Surma. Morgan Ann Studi.
Chancellor Christensen, these are the recipients of our graduate degrees. Will you all please join me in extending our congratulations?
At this time, we will confer the undergraduate degrees. Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Affairs, Charles Bisek, will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees please rise? Chancellor Christensen, I'm happy to present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees in their specialized areas. They have completed all the requirements for the degrees as prescribed by the University of Nebraska at Kearney and the Board of Regents. It is the recommendation of the faculty that they be granted their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate baccalaureate degree and admit you to the fellowship of educated women, men, and with all of its rights, honors, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations.
Baccalaureate candidates, you may be seated. The undergraduate degrees will be presented by the deans of the academic colleges: Ryan Teton, Arts and Sciences; Timothy Jarris, Business and Technology; and Grace Mims, Education. Reading the names of the graduates will be Associate Dean and Professor of Biology Paul Twigg, College of Arts and Sciences; Associate Dean and Associate Professor of Accounting, Finance, and Economics Bree Doherty, College of Business and Technology; and Associate Dean and Professor of Teacher Education Christopher Cannell, College of Education. We will begin with the College of Arts and Sciences.
On behalf of Dean Teton, it's my privilege to introduce the best, the brightest, the hardest working graduates of the College of Arts and Sciences. Adriana Danielle Langlis. Keisha L. Albrecht. Garrett Anthony Bradley. Carla C. Carrillo Lizalde. Rachel Lois Danielson. Michael Edwin Gady. Satoshi Katsuragi. Tricia Marie Miller. Carly Nicole Nelson. Veronica Villalobos. Abigail Catherine Zollner. Hannah Grace Ash. And Adina Manriquez Camarena. Jacob B. Christensen. Leighton Lee Fries. Jeremy Michael Hubble. Ray Leon Johnson. Michael Charles Lambert. Anna E. Long. Haley Joe McBride. Trevor S. Patsios. Anna Mae Paragoy. Bailey Ann Margaret Scow. Andrew J. Veneman. Lindsay Renee Warning. Scott A. Bagnall, Brendan Lee Beachley, Emma Christine Benton, Javier Betancourt, Alexis Leanne Chappelle, Whitney Marie Colling, Sherry Jo Crozier, Madison S. Denson, Alyssa Morgan Donahue, Cassidy Reese Eggers, Crystal Maria Fernandez, Crystal Flores, Ashley B. Glazer, Skylar Jean Gomez, Dakota Joe Hernandez, Whitney A. Hicken, Nicholas Anthony Hines, Alyssa Hoffman, Stephen C. Huddleston, Hannah Renee Hungerford, Marco Antonio Jaramillo, Jr., Shay Delaney Jeffries, Tanner Leland Johnson, Elizabeth Ann Kerr, Sherry Marie Kirpkuwait, Catalina Laguna Ramirez, Jonathan Michael Marvin, Shelby Asina McDowell, John Porter McClay, Ruby G. Mendez Lopez, Tyler Ryan Nelson, Macy Rihanna Nelson, Colton James Vaughn Nicely, Andrew Joseph Oliver, Noah D. Rankin, Preston Scott Ripp, Jacob U. Rojas, Angel Anthony Ruiz, Tessa Christine Ruskamp, Hannah Claire Schmitz, Alex Michael Sellers, Brandon Nicholas Shundoff, Shunsuke Suzuki, Sarah Elizabeth Tracy, Heidi Y. Vargas Rivas, Christina Lynn Wagner, Victoria May Weber, Leah May Wickman, Stephanie Jacqueline Lopez Cruz, Jacob R. Weiss, Bailey Catherine Wood, Courtney Marie Cresto, Ryan Michael Faden, Yunji Lim, Kelly K. Potrotz, Zachary Robert Risk, Michaela Hope Ward, Keegan Leanne Francel, Alex Allen Miller, Danielle Elizabeth Pelk, Sydney Claire Sell, Carrie Lee Talbert, Javier Torres, Sadie Dawn Emworth, and Thomas Benjamin Prentice.
The College of Business and Technology is proud to announce the following graduates. Michael Christopher Lord. Shauna Elaine Pates. Stacia Joelle Pauley. Andrea Christine Arsenian. Corrine Garcia Avande. Cameron Scott Bancroft. Joshua James Borgman. Brenna Marie Braden. Gerardo Josue Castillo. Ryan Clark. Adriana Garcia. Taylor Nicole Daly. Hope Lauren Danube. Jessica Della Torre. Dylan Jeffrey Dickey. Tyler Dean Douglas. Nicholas Scott Dowling. Jade Dylan Faggot. Kennedy Claire Fitzgerald. Kai Fulusawa. Lauren Ray Geiger. Kale Adrian Gideon. Glenn Thomas Harrington. Asik Lane Helberg. Kylie Claire Herbert. Aoi Hoshiko. Bowie Howe. Zach W. Jackson. Aaron Brianna Johnson. Yuna Kaneko. Madison Lynn Kelber. Colin Joseph Kenton.
Yeah!
Courtney Morgan Lobby. Jazzy Caprice Lott. Rogelio Mateo. Alexander Keith McGinnis. Colton Errol Meisinger. Megan Dale Miller. Lana Marie Molt. Brittany Ann Mosel. Kazuki Nakamura. Tristan James Pegg. Shiwei Peng. Levi Daniel Rosenquist. Seth M. Sloan. Mary Kate Steele. Joshua Raymond Stoltenberg. Haley Dawn Storm. Zachary E. Sullivan. Kazuya Takahashi. Anna Lynn Wagner. Morgan Brianna Weaver. Haley Leanna Werner. Kylie White. Paulo Alejandro Zambrano Sanchez.
On behalf of the faculty and administration of the College of Education, I congratulate our winter graduates. Oduar Quinones Rodriguez. Mackenzie Danielle Puckett. Haley Ann Anderson. Megan Renee Anderson. Mitchell W. Atkinson. Allison Elizabeth Rose Bauer. Taylor Ray Bennett. Tava LeRae Bowman. Paige L. Bradley. Caitlin M. Butler. Tyson Cole Calling. Annie K. Dickinson. Caitlin Nicole Ellis. Kinsey Lynn Enox. Matthew David Fisher. Julia Faustina Garrison. Cole Gottschalk. Elizabeth Hani. Bailey Shanae Hinkhouse. Daniel Scott Holbrook. Miranda S. Horsley. Becca L. Howe. Miranda Lynn Johnson. Sarah Louise Jones. Taylor M. Kirby. Madeline M. Clyer. Shelby K. Limberg. Allison LeRae Matulka. Brianna Lee Obermiller. Jameson Allen Oratel. Abby L. Osborne. Giselle Pastor. Kirsten Joe Peters. Benjamin James Ramon. Amber Marie Roche. Hannah Lynn Ritta. Grace Elizabeth Jane Scheil. Zachary Paul Schmidt. Elizabeth Marie Schott. Alexi Marie Schuyler. Kirby Taylor Sheets. Courtney Rose Shundoff. McKenna Helen Sorensen. Zachary Ray Stodden. Claire Marie Swantek. Darius James Williams. Braylon Marie Verba. Caitlin Christine Ray Warner. Haley S. Wedstad. Jacob Austin Michael Wiedenberger. Oh, Wiedenberg, correction, Wiedenberg. Haruka Asayama. Bailey Nicole Kostler. Jonathan A. Bedima. Tanner James Dungan. Tyler Donald Gugamas. Tyson Thomas Helbush. Shata Heino. Brenner James Keene. Elizabeth Ruth McDonald. Jennifer Nicole Nolda. Vanessa Ortiz Adame. Addison Laurie Pites. Cameron Joseph Perret. James Dean Rader. Brian Carlos Ramayo. Emily Ann Schroeder. Suzuka Shimada. Gabriel J. Smallwood. Samantha Lynn Stock. Mallory Ann Stoner. Yushio Swin. Keith M. Serber. Jessica M. Buss. Emily Guadalupe Diaz. Aubrey Michelle Fisher. Bethany Amanda Hope Freeling. Ramsey James Hunt. Gabrielle Nicole Patterson. Caitlin Michelle Pulaski. Sky A. Story. Kaylee Irene Watson.
Chancellor Christensen, these are the baccalaureate graduates. Would you all please join me in extending our congratulations to them?
Congratulations, graduates. Chancellor Christensen.
Okay, at this time I need some help. Everyone who is a UNK, a Kearney State College, and if there's some of you who are Nebraska normal, would you please stand and remain standing for a moment? I need your help in turning the tassel with our current students. So, alumni, please stand. Great. Okay. Now, the turning of the tassel is a time-honored tradition. It symbolizes the transition from candidate to graduate and from student to alumni. It's a privilege that's extremely well earned. Graduates, now is the appropriate time. Please stand. You may turn your tassels. You may be seated. My congratulations to all of you. To officially welcome you as the newest members of the UNK alumni family, it's my privilege to introduce to you Timothy Ebner. Tim is a December 1977 graduate of UNK, then Kearney State College, and is a wonderful example of where a UNK degree can lead you. For him, it led him from Shelton, Nebraska, to Salt Lake City, Utah, a path I'll bet he never expected to follow. Please welcome back University of Nebraska, or University of Utah Registrar, Tim Ebner. Tim.
Thank you, Chancellor Christensen. Good morning. I am so honored to have accompanied your commencement speaker, Dr. Barbara Snyder, here today to participate in this amazing celebration. I have had the privilege of working with Vice President Snyder for the past 14 years at the University of Utah until her retirement this past August. She has been and continues to be an inspiration to me and truly was a great leader and mentor to all who worked for her. Thank you, Barb. I know well the excitement all of you graduates are feeling today, for in December of 1977, I hate to admit, 42 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you are, the first person in my family to graduate from college with all of the anticipation of what the future held. And I can say I wasn't totally confident that I was ready to leave this campus and be on my own as an adult in the real world. But I began my career just down the road as a music teacher at Shelton Public Schools, and from there have spent my entire career in higher education. And I can say, in hindsight, that I was prepared for the real world, and I am so grateful for the education and experiences, joy and fun that I had at this great university, which taught me all of the necessary skills to succeed, and in the end, there was nothing to be afraid of. I am very confident that you too, class of 2019, are equally prepared to meet all of the challenges and opportunities that you will be faced with as you continue with or enter your chosen careers. I wish you much success and happiness in all that you do, and am hopeful that you will be as proud as I am to be able to call the University of Nebraska at Kearney your alma mater. And with that, I formally welcome you to the UNK alumni family. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share this day with you. All of the very best to each and every one of you. Thank you, and go Lopers.
Well said, Tim. Thank you for being with us today. Graduates, you are now part of over 53,000 people across the state, the country, and the world who claim this institution as their alma mater. With the turning of the tassel, there's another important tradition here that is equally as important, and that is the recognition of our distinguished faculty and emeriti faculty. Would our faculty and emeriti please stand and receive our warm recognition? Thank you. We also want to recognize all of the staff who's helped with today's ceremony. Some commencement, I'm going to stand here and try to recognize them all by name. It is a very long process to make sure this runs so smoothly as it does every year, and there's very dedicated people and all of our staffs who contribute to this, and we're very appreciative to them. Would we give them our appreciation as well? Obviously, that degree in your hand doesn't guarantee you success, but it sure gives you a great start, and it means that you've gotten the best possible preparation. The taxpayers have provided a large share of your education, and we owe a little bit back to them. And so be good members of the state, be good members of society, and that's the best way to repay your gift of education. We ask you to be generous with your skills and your time to benefit everyone, not just yourselves. You've learned that it takes more than just one person to be successful in your life, and we hope that you will do that. Our goal here is to try to be done by 11:45, and we're going to meet that. I'm not going to speak any longer to get to 11:45, but I want to say how impressed I am that everyone who has stayed through commencement, and that we read every name, and that you've stayed and helped us honor each and every one of the graduates. That truly is impressive as well. Graduates, your future is very bright, very bright. May good fortune always find you, and thank you all for participating in today's ceremony.
Thank you, Chancellor. And now, as the commencement ceremony concludes, I ask the audience to please remain seated until the academic recessional has been completed. University Marshal Garrison, would you please take the mace? Gonfaloniers, please take the banners and assemble at the front of the stage for the recessional. Will the stage party and university faculty please stand? Mr. Greenberg, University Marshal, and Gonfaloniers, please begin the recessional.